how can snow contractors educate property management? I said manager and management in the same sentence and it all came out together. How can we educate property managers and those buying on why paying for us having the best equipment really makes sense? And really, how can we combat that lowball pricing epidemic and really show the value of, like you said, the research that we do and the equipment we buy?
So from what I've seen is if you I would use like stories of like what you've done for other customers. Um, so if there was like a really bad event and somebody was like maybe a critical shipping center and they needed to get product in and out and it created some delays, like I would go to that customer and find out how much does that cost you if this is not clear, and what is like have some questions that create tension and find out like what is the opportunity cost if this is not cleared for them, and what risks is this going to pose? Like, is this going to create liability for them if they have slip and falls on their property? Is this going to um, create issues for them if they're a medical center? They're going to want to be clear so they can get ambulances or people in and out of there. So I would look at like what's the risk of not getting the place plowed properly and effectively and on time, and start there, and then just find out if there's any other reasons um, that would affect them if their lot is not cleared. Because at the end of the day, it's like the what ifs. If this isn't done, then what's going to happen to you? And really drill into that and just keep picking away until you find the real motive. And then once that happens, then you can actually build your value proposition around what they tell you.
100%. No, I think that's really good. Like you said, the stories and also the effects of not having it. And then one I'll share. So this, just for context, this episode will probably come out, I think, on April 27th on the podcast release, because I have a couple scheduled before it. But the good thing is one I have scheduled before you was actually with a sales trainer and coach who just released a book. And one thing that she said in her episode that I think applies here is she talked about, because I asked her similar questions about how do we get in front of property managers combating the low ball epidemic going on. And she said, you really have to get in front of them now. You don't just, she said, by the time you get to RFP season for snow, if you already don't have that relationship and you're not talking and educating beforehand, you're too late. So I think with what you shared, those stories, like you said, and those